Dua, Dua Umjambo. How are the children? Listen, family, whatever the greeting is in your respective language, I am your humble brother Crumb, and you are now, and this is another edition of Crumb TV. You already know what it is, family. This video is called The History of Pulpit Pimp'n. Amen, church. Amen. But before we get into all of that, so stay well. Before we get into all of that, I want to do what I do best and put some respect in your name by acknowledging the first responders. Now, within the first 2.5 minutes, there are more than 28 first responders. So, for the sake of time, we'll just do the first three. We call that the perfect trifecta. And yes, family, I do want to emphasize perfect. Number one in the building of perfect trifecta is none other than the fifth house. She says divine peace and love collective. We say in peace and love back. I see you. I love you. I appreciate you. I'm humbled. I'm honored. I am grateful. Number two in the building of this perfect trifecta is my good brother from another mother, my man, 100 grand, A1 since day one. That's right, family. It's D Nice. He says, "What up, though?" Family, when people greet you with things like "What up, though," like when I do the greetings, those are from particular places. Like maybe one day in the future, when I say it, I'll say where it's from. But "What up, though" is from the D 313, none other than Detroit. He says, "What up, though, master students?" We saying "What up" back. I see you. I love you. I appreciate you. Humbled, honored, and grateful. Last but not least. It's Solo 5000. A thou wow. So he says peace and light to the chat. We saying peace and light back. I'm humbled. I'm honored. I'm grateful. Uh, with that said, I don't want to take too much of the family's time. Let me, you know, the good brother who needs no introduction. It is none other than our good brother, M.O.I. Peace and love, M.O.I. How are you?
Peace and love, everybody. Peace and love to the chat, man. All is well, brother. Another great segment.
Yeah, lots going on in the world, and it's just so fun talking about it. Let me see if I can turn this music off. I thought it would have turned off by now. Is it fading out? Okay, cool. Yeah. So I had obviously you had already heard the news where Marvin Sapp kind of goes off. I don't want to say he went off, but he went viral. I'll at least say that. Did you want to lead us up to that while I search for this video, Minister?
Yeah. As I told you earlier, it was kind of like those episodes. Episode from Martin, when Martin mom had got scammed out of the church. If y'all remember that, that kind of reminded me of that. There's a scene in Don't Be a Menace where the preacher was doing the same thing. So when I first saw it, I was like, "Oh, here we go." Um, Art imitating life. Um,
Mm,
right, but this is not new when people do the same thing and uh, beat the war drums for private jets and shit like that. Um, all all of the prosperity preachers. That's what they're called. Prosperity.
teach.
That's that's what they teach there.
Now,
Basically they try to personify the idea of universal giving. Give, you shall receive type shit, but that's not what they're doing there. They're just taking.
right. Amen, church. Um, so let me pull up this thing. We can check this out and I'll get you to weigh in. Let me know what you think. All right, here we go.
Cost that is involved. And they understand the cost that is involved. There's 1,000 of you. I said, close them doors. Ushers, close the doors. Close the doors. Close the doors. We all gonna leave together. Y'all ain't going no place but to the restaurant. There's 1,000 of you tonight, and those that are watching, it's 1,000 that's watching online. This is a small seed, if I get 1,000 online to give this, if I get 1,000 in the sanctuary to give this, that's $40,000 tonight. I'm challenging each of you all down here to give a $20 seed. I just think $20 is a lot of money. $20, believe it or not, when my late wife, Melinda P. Sapp, was alive, was a good date. I could take her to the movies, buy a box of popcorn, get 1 soda, 2 straws. I wasn't cheap. That's swag. I was looking in her eyes. She's looking in mine. Can't do that no more. Now, everyone up here, we've all sold and seeded, but I need everyone standing up here with us, with me, to plant a seed of $100. Because again, it costs to sit up here. I got you. Let's see. So put your 20 away, preachers. That 20 wasn't for you. And this is what I need you to do. If you're giving electronically, or even if you're giving tangibly, I'm going to have y'all come to the altar and give it, because I need to see 1,000 people moving. Bring them baskets. I want the baskets up here. I want to see the folk. Y'all start moving. Y'all can bring it right now. Come. Even if you're giving tangibly, just put your hand on take your phone and stick it on the bucket. Shh. Giving is worship. Giving is worship. Giving is worship. Giving is worship. This ain't the time to talk. 1,000 people need to give $20. 1,000 people need to give $20. 1,000 people online need to give $20. This is easy, saints. This is an easy miracle. We should be able to raise $40,000 tonight just from y'all giving. That's it. And they understand the cost.
Moderators, moderators, lock the door. Moderators, where my moderators at? Where are the moderators? Lock the door. So, that was the Marvin Sapp, and just in case the family doesn't know who Marvin Sapp is a preacher, obviously, and he's also he gained notoriety by the song "Never Would Have Made It," I think being his biggest hit. And this is him preaching or whatever, and he says to lock the doors or shut the doors. Excuse me. He says shut the doors, and it's supposed to be some type of captive audience situation. And this ain't for the purpose of saving souls. Hey, lock the doors because we're gonna baptize somebody. This ain't for the purpose of casting out a demon. Hey, lock the doors because we about to cast the demon out. This is for collecting money. Let's be clear. And minister, please.
That was some Joe Clark shit, man. Yeah, I remember seeing from Lean on Me, Joe Clark telling him, "Take the door, the enemy's here." That's some Joe Clark shit, man. But see, we shouldn't be too removed from a pimp-like mentality when it comes to these uh, uh, um, prosperity preachers. There's always a pimp-like mentality. When the whore used to come to the car with $100, he'd be like, "Bitch, that's all you got," and slap her and make her go back to the block and get the money. That's what he's saying. Like, look, y'all I need more money out your pockets.
Right.
Because
Now,
if you pull up, we'll get to it in a second, I'm sure. If you pull up other pimp-like preachers, like Sweet Daddy Grace and the boys, you start to see a trend of fine tailored suit, Maury gaiters, permed hair, long fingernails. You'll start to see this hustle mentality make its way into to the church. And what was so crazy is that's around the time when you started to get your first ideas of secular music from gospel.
Um, I had an article prepared, and I wanted, it's very short. It's like maybe 3 paragraphs. But do you mind if we go into it?
Yeah, yeah,
So
please, please, let's go into this.
this is from source material, pimppreacher.com, in an article titled "Founding Fathers of Black Cults." Coming in at number 6, Sweet Daddy Grace. So I want the family to understand Sweet Daddy Grace is a founding father of pimping in terms of religion. It, it don't get more pimped out than Sweet Daddy. So without further ado, obviously. So here he is right there, Sweet Daddy, and his his get up uh is different, and it's in front of a bed, so it's a semi erotic.
But look. Scroll back up now. He's dressed like somebody. I want y'all to remember that picture. I'm gonna bring up the picture later. He's dressed like an image. Now, if you zoom in on his face and his chest, it's him right here. On his chest and his face, I want you to notice what's on his chest. Check him out. Now, if you pull up a picture of Serapis Bay, pull up a photo of Serapis Bay, you're gonna see the similarities of this occult. See, you see that? That's what he's emulating. You see the head wrap and the glow. This is during third grade awakening. I keep telling you how to read about. Okay, you can go back. I just wanted to show that parallel.
So now it reads, Sweet Daddy Grace, born by some other name. Sweet Daddy uh, was known to his worshipers, appeared on the scene and captivated all who followed him simply because he looked like their mental image of Jesus. He was born in some place, Cape Verde Islands, then a Portuguese possession off the west coast of Africa. There is no verifiable information to confirm his exact year of birth, blah, blah, blah. Let me see, can I close that out? Whatever that is. According to researchers, somebody in her book, Daddy Grace, Bishop Grace, also claimed that by the power of the Holy Ghost, he could raise the dead. One such person who claimed that he did was his younger sister, Jeannie, or Eugenia, who reportedly died and was raised again by Grace. She would accompany Grace in his missionary tours and testify to the fact. With nothing more than light brown skin, an accent, and 2-inch long fingernails, Sweet Daddy became a very formidable and controlling cult leader, establishing the United House of Prayer for All People, otherwise known as UHOP, first in New Bedford, Massachusetts. Sweet Daddy very quickly sunk his 2-inch fingernails into the minds and pockets of his followers. Sweet Daddy became very wealthy by the time he opened his second location of the U-Hop in North Carolina. From there, a building boom ensued. Sweet Daddy is the architect of the Black Church franchise model that we see today, to this day, in which all of the locations remain under the control of one CEO pastor. His first scam was convincing his worshipers to pay $1 for a baptism in a free pond. Later, He eliminated the need for the pond and simply sprayed the new converts with a fire hose. All of his followers were expected to place their offerings in his hand. Some even made miniature churches made entirely of money to present to him as gifts. The last paragraph. I'm going to make it the last paragraph. Pimp Grace lived in style and traveled in style. He was always chauffeur driven and accompanied by bodyguards, assistants, United House of Prayer elders, staff, and secretaries. According to a recent wiki, Grace collected up to 42 very large and expensive mansion homes filled with expensive furniture, works of art, amenities in various states across the US, as well as one 25-room mansion in Havana, Cuba that he purchased in 1936. He also accrued several income properties across the US. One such notable purchase was of the El Dorado, an iconic twin towered apartment complex facing Central Park in the Upper West Side of Manhattan, NYC, in 1953. Grace culminated his real estate purchases with a massive uh, palatial 85-room home in the historic Berkeley Square, an exclusive part of the West Adams, Los Angeles, California area for the very wealthiest of African Americans in 1958. In a time of legal housing discrimination in pre 1950s USA, much of Bishop Grace's purchases were no less than revolutionary and were appreciated as such by his largely African American followers. Okay, there's one last paragraph. Should I read this or no? It's really just two sentences. I'll just read it. The purchase of the trophy properties was not limited to large personages, apartment complexes, and swanky hotels. Grace also extended his property acquisition campaign to his religious rivals as well, evicting Father Divine from his International Peace Mission Movement Harlem headquarters after he bought it from under him in 1938. Detroit's James F. Jones, who was a minister known as Prophet Jones, lost his signature 54-room Arden Park, East Boston Historic District personage, as well as the headquarters cathedral building of the sect he had founded, the Church of Universal Triumph, Dominion of God, to the Bishop Grace something. Oh, he's not even up here. Where is he? Where did he go? I'm just sitting here reading. Where is the minister at? Okay. No wonder he didn't say nothing. But anyway, okay, so now that I read all that, which I really didn't want to, but whatever. Um, after Ricky Smiley I'm sorry, excuse me. After Sweet Daddy Grace had that whole situation with where he said lock the doors, none other than Ricky Smiley came up to his defense. And I wanted to play what Ricky Smiley said. So let me see, can I pull this up? Because Ricky Smiley be tripping me out a little bit. Where is he at? So this is only like 11 and a half minutes. So I'm gonna try not to interrupt too much. Check this out.
Did you see that post?
People are talking.
Here's what's trending on the Ricky Smiley Morning Show.
All right, y'all, Ricky Smiley Morning Show, 25 minutes after the hour, y'all. Our next guest has been all over the internet lately, and he's here with us today to set the record straight. He's an award-winning singer, bishop, and pastor of the Chosen Vessel Church in Fort Worth, Texas. Joining us this morning is a friend of the show, Marvin Sapp. And good morning. Thank you for joining this morning.
Thank you.
And listen, let me say this. I'm not here to exploit this situation. You are my friend.
Thank you, sir.
And I'm a real friend. I'm a loyal friend. You understand? And I haven't even talked to you this week.
No,
Because
you
I know
haven't.
your phone was blowing up, but I had sense enough that everything that you sat here and said during the commercial break, I already knew. You don't have to explain that to me. I grew up in the church. And in your own way. In your own way. Let's start with the attacks that are on you and the death threats on you and your family.
Well, let me
Or
just start.
just whatever way you want to
Let,
start.
let me just start by saying first, Ricky, I thank you for this opportunity.
Yes, sir.
You know,
And let me just jump right in. I'm gonna be honest with you, family. I don't really believe when these people try to say that they've been attacked to gain our sympathy. If he has been attacked, then that is disgusting. It's horrible. It's ridiculous. It's utterly preposterous. Um, but I'm just not going to sit here and assume that it's happening because he said so. Uh, I'm not going to do. I'm not. I don't know about anybody else, but you guys aren't going to Jesse Smollett me. I think that's his name, Jesse Smollett. Is somebody in the comments? Keep me honest. Is that the guy's name, Jesse Smollett? I don't know, but that's what you're not going to do to me. Is that whole thing? But let's just assume he did get the threats. You know, we don't support that. I digress. Let's continue on.
I thank you for the opportunity to be able to come on your show and for you to use your platform to give me a chance to just, add
Yeah.
some context and clarity to, a clip that, a whole lot of people have seen. Sadly, one of the things that has happened is, people have created a narrative that is absolutely not true. Number one, the narrative was created, excuse me, that I raised money at my church, that I kept the people at my church hostage until I raised $40,000 for me. That's the narrative that has been shared. That locked folks up in my church. That
Well, and okay, and I'm going to be 100%, 1 trillion% honest. Honestly, I don't know what the full narrative is to be saying what it is or what it isn't. I don't know what it is. No, no, that's not what people saying. Listen, I don't know what people saying. The most that I can say, which is what I always say, is don't get me to lying. Lord knows I don't know what people out here saying, but I'm not saying that. I'm saying that you guys have a history of stealing from black folk. I'm definitely saying that. You guys have been a tool for the beast against us. I can say that very confidently as well. Um, and I think he's kind of playing the lines like, I don't understand what's going on. This is just another example of uh, what do you call it when like the Muslims will do something extreme? I like the jihadists or whatever. This is the equivalent to that. This is the extreme use of religion. We we can easily point fingers at the Muslims when we can see the extreme version of their religion. This is the extreme version of Christianity. Welcome back, Minister.
Yeah, my bad, man. A call come through, but I'm back.
Oh yeah, no problem. So yeah, we were just listening to Ricky Smiley come up here shucking and jiving. Uh, so R- Ricky Smiley has a radio show. It's a great show. Let's be honest. But um, Ricky Smiley got flamed. He got Waka Flocka flamed by none other than Cat Williams on the Shannon Sharp podcast called the Shannon Podcasters. I don't even know what the podcast is called, but
Club Shay Shay, Club Shay Shay.
Club Shay Shay Shay. Put some respect on his name. Thank you, Minister. So Cat Williams goes on Club Shay Shay and just he kind of went at a lot of people, but I think the person who got hit the hardest was um, Ricky Smiley, and he pointed out that Ricky Smiley's always wearing these dresses, and his his, his biggest roles have all have all included a dress. I don't I can't really tell you whatever his roles are, so I'm not 100% sure, but that's what they say. So this guy, and he was just really uh seeming like he's a part of the machine, the lower part, but still a part. Um, so he's backing Marvin Sapp, and Marvin Sapp goes on to his radio show, and this is basically what he's saying. Just to kind of catch you up, Minister, did you want to say something, or shall I hit the play button?
Now go ahead.
Okay.
That I made them give $40,000, and I wouldn't allow them to leave until they gave it to me. And to be honest with you, that is absolutely false.
Yeah.
Number one, uh, that offering was taken last year. This was a service that happened last August. Number two, it didn't happen at my local church. It actually happened at a national organization's international meeting where churches from all over the country, all over the world came together for the purpose of celebrating the Lord and Savior Jesus Christ. People took issue with me saying, shut the doors. Understand, I never said lock the doors.
Yeah.
I said, shut the doors. Shutting doors mean that people still have the ability to go in and out. They've taken issue with my tone. And
Nobody's taking issue with your tone, and you're playing because when you said you ain't got nowhere to go, we already knew what you meant when you said shut the door. That means you're not going anywhere. You said, Marvin, that we're all going to leave together. So when you say shut the door, it sounds like, and then those things come behind it in terms of context. It does sound like you're holding people hostage. Minister, am I missing something here? Let's just continue on.
I can honestly say, looking at the video, maybe I was a little more assertive than I should have been. Uh, and I can apologize for that. I can apologize for that. But three things I need to make sure the people understood. Number one, the $40,000, if it was $40,000 that was raised, was never given to me. That money was raised for the purpose of taking care of the budget for their conference, not Marvin Sapp. Number two, it didn't happen at my church. It happened in Baltimore. Number three,
Well, okay, just dealing with that part of it.
But it's making sense though.
Me,
He said it was never. It wasn't. People big think it was his church, and he was asked for money for the church, but it wasn't.
fine, no problem. But the problem that I have is that this is collecting money in the name of the Lord is it just makes me feel funny, but I digress. Let's continue on.
you know, people take issue with me being firm with the ushers. Anybody that goes to church, ushers one-on-one, that's the first thing they teach you as being an usher, is that there are three times you don't walk. You don't walk during the altar call. You don't walk during prayer. You don't walk during the offering. One of the reasons being is because of the sacredness of the moment. But it's also about security. As a pastor, that churches are being robbed at gunpoint. It's happening all over the country. This is not.
Wait, because now you're talking out both sides of your mouth. Now you saying it's about security, but before you said I'm not holding y'all hostage. You can leave and come and go if you. Well, if you can come and go if you want to. What are you talking about the whole robbery situation? I'm not sure how those two things go together. But maybe I'm thinking too deep into it. Let's let him talk it out.
Something I'm making up. This is factual. So if you got 5,000 people in the room, you want the doors closed. You don't want the doors locked. I couldn't get them locked anyway. It's a convention center. But the doors needed to be closed, and there was a lot of pandemonium and stuff that was going on out there. But I wanted to share that first. But that ain't even the reason why I'm here. Here's the reason why I'm here. The reason why I'm here is because what has happened is people have taken clickbait and made something out of it that it isn't. And because
That that's that's not true. That's not true. This isn't Minister, is this clickbait or is this us reacting to what he said?
We just reacting, man. It's just a reaction video, like anything else.
I I, I am so disappointed. And this is where if somebody does something wrong and we call them out, family, wait, I don't think we've done any numbers yet. Let me just check. I'm almost certain. No, we haven't. Family, press 000 if you've seen the family check somebody just in any one of these vast scenarios, and then the person, instead of taking accountability, they was like, "Oh, those my ops and my haters." Nah, bro, nobody's your hater. You ain't got no kids. You can't tell me nothing about parenting. Bro, all I said was you probably need to buckle up your toddler when you drive. I didn't know that was me hating. Like this is crazy how we spin these things. You're right. And I said something critical of the rainbow community. And we have brothers and sisters over there. We all know it. It is what it is. And even though I said something critical, it was no less truthful. And versus saying, you know what, Dad Crumb, you are right. They was like, oh, you homophobic. I'm like, really? Like what about this makes me like this is just a way to dodge the accountability. You a hater. Like, come on, guys. Let's be reasonable and rational versus just trying to, you know, um, have these deflectors like the Starship Enterprise. I digress. Let's continue.
of that, my church has been getting phone calls. People have called my church and cussed me out. My staff are afraid because I've received death threats over $20 and shut the door. People have come to our campus. They have come to my church to try to cause problems, issues, challenges. And
I don't
again,
know if I believe that.
my children, I don't look at comments. We was talking about this. I don't read comments. When you got millions of followers, you ain't got time to be reading all the comments. You just
I
don't
don't
have it.
believe that.
Right.
My children do. And they are afraid. And the reason being is because I'm their only parent. I'm a widower. They're afraid for my safety. So now we've had to update and increase security and all the things I've never had to do before because of the vitriol and the anger that people have shown, the things that they've said in my thread and stuff. And all of this is because of a misunderstanding. And I'm not blaming people. Let me be clear. I'm not blaming anybody because of their misunderstanding. I'm just saying, in all you're getting, get an understanding. And if I'm sharing with you that the $40,000 that I was trying to raise, and again, I don't know if the organization got 40, 10, 20, any of it. I don't know. I'm hoping that I actually raised more money so that I can help the organization that has been such a great support to me. These people.
And again, let's be clear.
Uh, Minister, did you want to chime in? Because I had a question for you.
No, go ahead. What's the question?
So this whole thing about tithes and offering, I know so many times when we be in the church, they be trying to guilt trip us, and they be like, "Would a man rob God?"
So
And
you
I'm
have
like,
robbed me. You have robbed God also. Yeah, pull that verse up. That's a verse that all Baptist preachers, black preachers, always seem to quote when it's time for tithing and offering. let's read the word of God. Amen. And see, let's see what the word said. And let us see for ourselves who they're referring to. Because what you're gonna find out is in that verse was actually meant for the priests, not for the people. To blow it up a little bit. Let me see.
Yeah, I'm gonna search it.
Malachi 3. Is that it? Yeah.
Trying
Malachi 3:8. In the book of Malachi, you should also read the book of Malachi anyway. The book of Malachi foretells about the prophet Muhammad coming, the one who can't read the scroll. Book of Malachi is a good book.
Okay, I'm just gonna go to Bible Study Tools. I like Bible Hub. Oh, Bible Gateway.
Yeah, just make
Yeah,
sure
Bible Gateway.
KJV. There you go.
Amen.
Read full chapter. We're gonna go
Yeah.
to 7. Start with 3:7, and then it'll lead you into it. There we go. Right there.
I'm sorry, full chapter. Okay. Um, so we want to go with
Start with
8,
6.
6.
Start with 6.
Okay.
Yeah, please.
Let me just make this bigger real quick. All right, boom. All right. Malachi 3:6. For I am the Lord, I change not. Therefore, ye sons of Jacob are not consumed. Even from the days of your fathers, ye are gone away from mine ordinances, and have not kept them.
Hold on for a second.
Return.
Now, what is being talked about is the sons of Jacob, Levi, Simon, and Reuben. Those are the first his oldest sons. The tribe of Levi is the Levitical tribe of which the Pharisees and Sadducees keep their law from, and they always would challenge Jesus because Jesus was under the Melchizedek law. Remember, he was after the order of Melchizedek or Michael, so he had a different order, and Jesus would tell those Levitical believers that that's man's law. When at one time Jesus had helped the ass to get out the ditch or the donkey get out the ditch, they was gawking because Jesus was working on the Sabbath, and Jesus said that's man's law. So you always see that back and forth between Levi, um, Reuben, and Simon, the first three children of Jacob. They got further away from the law, and other tribes did too, but these are the main three. And then just for a side note, Masons, these are the three ruffians right here. Continue.
Okay.
Just want to point that out.
For I am the Lord, I change not. Therefore, ye sons of Jacob are not consumed. Even from the days of your fathers, ye are gone away from mine ordinances, and have not kept them. Return unto me, and I will return unto you, saith the Lord of hosts. But ye said, wherein shall we return? Will a man rob God? Yet ye have robbed me. But ye say, wherein have we robbed thee? In tithes and offerings? Ye are cursed with a curse, for ye have robbed me, even this whole nation.
Keep reading.
Bring ye all the tithes into the storehouse, and there that there may be
Meet
that
in my house and prove me the howeth, says the Lord of hosts. And the Lord of hosts is another way of saying um Lord of hosts is I think of it in a second. Let's get my mind is quick. Um if you would not open up your window of heaven and pour you out a blessing, that they there shall not be room to receive, right? And it says, and I'll rebuke the devourers for your sake, and he shall not destroy the fruits of your ground. Talking about the curse of the ground. But this is God talking to the priest, not to the people, about turning the tithing into intemperance. And the priest are questioning, like, how have we robbed you in tithing and offering? And you mostly hear that first part, will a man rob God? Yeah, you have robbed me and they'll stop right there. They don't read the whole thing. But upon the further examination, he's definitely talking to the priest. He reads the entirety of chapter 3. But yeah, that's true.
Absolutely. So yeah, they try to uh, manipulate us by reading the book a certain type of way to confuse us to where now we're giving. And this is what we're seeing with old boy.
Not a dime of that money.
Not a dime of that money came to me. Not a dime of it.
And where did your money come from?
I've been blessed. I've been extremely blessed. I've sold millions of records. Millions. I'm a songwriter.
How much have you gotten paid from? And we on the radio live,
Right.
How much have you gotten paid from your church? I'm just saying.
Okay, so
Tell
see,
me
Ricky,
what you said during
I'm
the
gonna tell
commercial.
you. What people don't know is that I pastored 16 years in the city of Grand Rapids, Michigan. I founded my church. I pastored 16 years. We had a great church. Still have a great church there. 16 years of pastoring. I never got paid a dime. That's a fact.
Listen to him. Listen to his words. How will the Lord judge you? Matter of fact, here, let me back up. Before I finish playing this, I want to ask the family, what is the most dangerous body part that the Bible talks about? The most dangerous body part. My minister, please don't answer. Do 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 do. Ding 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 ding. That daggone tongue. That daggone tongue. It can speak life, and it can also speak death. Amen, church. That tongue speak life, and it can also speak death. So let's listen to what he says. He said he did not receive a dime from his church, and that's a fact. Let's listen to what he say.
16 years. You can call the church. You can ask them. I pastored the Lighthouse for Life Center Church in Grand Rapids, Michigan for free for 16 years. 9 years of those 16 years, I gave a minimum of $30,000 a month to my church. Wow. 30 grand a month to my church to ensure that the church could go forward. We had a lot of stuff. I had a college campus that we had bought. We had 3 other campuses, and my membership had dwindled after my wife had passed because I had to travel more in order to take care of me and my kids.
Right.
So, my membership, it dwindled, but we never lost anything. And as a matter of fact, this is factual. The day I announced the new pastor, I burned the mortgage of the church. When I left Grand Rapids, I left my church not only debt free, but I left them with 6 figures in the bank and put a brand new pastor in and walked away and moved to Texas. I'm not trying to take advantage of people. That's never been my passion. I'm serious about ministry. And let me go one step further. There's a whole lot of other pastors around here that are doing the same thing. Most pastors in America are bivocational, meaning they have jobs outside of their churches. The average church size in America is only 75 people. Look it up. It's factual. So we're not getting rich off the church. I am bivocational. I'm a W-2 employee at my church. I have a syndicated radio show.
Excuse me? Did he just say he's a W-2 employee? Meaning, now hold on. Maybe I don't understand what 1 + 1 is. And minister, correct me if I'm wrong. He said he ain't never got paid from the church. Then he goes on to say he is a W-2 employee of the church. Does that mean the church paying him as an employee? Okay, the minister's probably busy. So yeah, with that, he's on the payroll, family. He just said he ain't got paid in 62 years. Then he turned around and said he's a W 2 employee. Did he just say I'm a W 2 employee? I ain't the smartest man. See, listen, family, I ain't the smartest man in the world.
Look it up. It's factual. So we not getting rich off the church. I am bivocational. I'm a W-2 employee at my church. I have a syndicated rate.
Ain't nobody saying, see, this is the thing. Oh, people saying I'm getting rich off the church. No, we're not saying you getting rich off the church. We're saying that you getting money from the church. And I don't know, this may be his salary. I don't know. It may not be his salary. I don't know what his salary is. But I know for a fact he just said in 16 years he ain't got paid nothing from the church. Was it right here where he said that?
Just saying in all you're getting, get an understanding. And if I'm sharing with you that the $40,000 that I was trying to raise, and again, I don't know if the organization got 40, 10, more money, so that I can help the organization that has been such a great support to me. These people,
And again,
I've been blessed. I've been
you gotten paid from, and we on the radio live.
right.
How much have you gotten paid from your church? I'm just saying.
The question was, how much have you got paid from your church?
And
Okay, so
tell
see,
me
Ricky,
what you said
I'm
during
gonna tell you.
commercial.
What people don't know is that I pastored 16 years in the city of Grand Rapids, Michigan. I founded my church. I pastored 16 years. We had a great church. Still have a great church there. 16 years of pastoring. I never got paid a dime. That's a fact.
He never got paid a dime. That's a fact. Okay, no problem.
That's
Cool.
not what he asked him, though. What the fuck? That's not what he asked him.
Now, he said he didn't get paid nothing. That's a fact. No problem. Let's just skip ahead a couple more seconds, not even minutes, seconds. And then he goes on and says he's a W 2 employee on a church payroll.
Moved to Texas. I'm not trying to take advantage of people. That a lot of other pastors around here vocational, meaning they have jobs out of people. Look it up. It's factual. So we not getting rich off the church. I am bivocational. I'm a W-2 employee at my church.
I'm a W 2 employee. I ain't got paid in 16 years, but I'm a W 2 employee at the church. How do those two listen, family?
Because
I'm not
go ahead. Let me cut your wisdom off. I was
no, no, no,
about to
no,
break
please.
down. The church is what kind of filing? What kind of filing is the church, y'all? What kind of IRS filing is the church?
50 501c3 status.
That's it. Nonprofit. All that money that comes to the church are donations, or the same as you have a membership fee or dues. All that stuff is voluntarily given, so it's non-taxable. So if he said he make $10 a goddamn year, that's what he makes. That's his earnings. That's not what he's getting. That's a difference. So when you have a 501c or a nonprofit organization, you can make yourself an employee of the organization, and the only requirements is you give back in some capacity 2 to 3 times a quarter. And that's why the church will do stuff. They'll donate. They have a scholarship program for the kids or something like that. They will give back, but the majority of that money is non-taxable. So he don't have to report what he makes from a 501c3 standpoint. That's why he said I'm a W-2, because yeah, I'm taking out a salary, but it ain't hitting no shit, which is cool. But he's still getting money on the back end because he is the beneficiary or the trustee. Remember in church, everybody, the board of trustees, what do you think they fucking do? Sit around all day in the back and just count money and that's it? No, it's the board of trustees. Every organization has a board of trustees when you're dealing with that type of filing. And they can't do anything without the board, the trustees, or who else they call them, Congress, or they call them the committee, the board members. This is ran like a corporation, man. It's ran the same way, and he's the CEO of the corporation. Look at the church like that. Stop looking at it in such a religious perspective. Look at it as a fucking business. because that's what they're discussing right now, his business, and he don't have to disclose the earnings on the business because it's non-taxable. Beautiful.
I have a syndicated radio show that I do every week to over 60 different markets. I own real estate. I have mutual funds. I have annuities. I have stocks. I play the market. I took my money and I didn't trick it.
Money that you made from
Money that
your
I made
hit
from music,
records.
from hit records. I'm one of the only gospel artists with billions of streams.
And you tour.
And I tour. I just came off of a tour
Sure.
that I made tons of money on. And I'm at the crib right now chilling because I don't have to go on tour. I can wait and do my next day. I came
basically you saying all that to say you don't need no $40,000.
I don't.
Got it.
And I will take it if they gonna give it to me. But right. I did not raise this money for the premise and purpose.
And that was a program that helped you get
right.
to where
Listen, okay. Let me see if I can put this in a little bit of perspective, because when I'm listening to him talk, it's like he's focusing on the 40,000. This is the same situation with Creflo Dollar, and $40,000 is nothing compared to 65 million. Check this out. Pastor Creflo Dollar is defending his
I can
appeal.
believe God as long as I want to. If I want to believe God for a $65 million plane, you cannot stop me. You cannot stop me from dreaming.
Dollar says evil forces are behind the recent criticism.
Now you see why the devil tried so aggressively to discredit my voice.
The Jet Dollar campaigned to purchase its Gulfstream G650. The 650 is advertised as the biggest, fastest, most luxurious jet by far. In a recent sermon, Dollar claimed he never asked his followers for money to buy the
Dollar
jet.
asking his members for $65 million. I ain't never asked you for a dime.
The jet fundraising page was taken down, but the video appeal was archived on the web.
I knew it was time to begin to believe God for a new airplane.
Our current ministry plane is no longer usable. We need your help. And I ask all of our partners globally to get on board with Project G650.
Despite the criticism, Dollar suggested that the jet fundraiser may just be the beginning.
Life on Mars. If you think a $65 million plane was too much, if they discover that there's life on Mars, they gonna need to hear the gospel, and I'm gonna have to believe God for $1 billion space shuttle because we got to preach the gospel on Mars.
Woo.
Atera's AI.
Man, that man is crazy.
Well, you know,
that was crazy.
My point is, I don't want to make it about the 40,000, because not too long ago it was 65 million. I think the bigger picture, the broader picture that our good brother is missing, Pastor Sapp, is the stigmatism that this comes off as panhandling, and this is, you're locking doors and telling people they can't leave until you leave. It's kind of like they can't even talk to me like that at work. Like, come on, man. Like, what if I want to use the bathroom? Come on, man. Stop it. We all grown in here. But
yeah. Is it more of the interview, him and Ricky?
Yeah, it's only like 2 more minutes. You want to hear it?
Yeah. Let's check it out.
They gave me a platform. This organization is an organization I grew up in. It's a church organization I grew up in, and I'm appreciative. The reason why I'm going to bring up the organization, because it ain't none of y'all business. But the point is these people gave me a platform, man. And the reason why I'm known today is because of the opportunities that this organization gave me. So for me to go back and be able to preach and raise
Give back.
finances and give back to them so that they don't have to go in debt. Listen, one of the most devastating things about this whole situation and circumstance is that I'm literally praying for all of those who have actually spread it. Like if I was a weak guy, if I was a very weak person with all of the things that people have said in my comments and stuff like that, that my members of my church have read, that my children have read, people commit suicide on stuff like this.
Sure.
From this type of attack. And I know for a fact that there are some individuals that really don't have a clear understanding of the systems of the church. But then I know that there are some individuals that are listening, even as I speak, that have been church hurt, and that's the reason why they have a certain level of vitriol and bitterness as it pertains to the church. This particular situation for me is a church hurting situation.
Stop it.
Because I did something for the church, but I'm taking abuse because of it. I just
Stop.
want people to really understand that this is something that we shouldn't do. Make sure you do your due diligence. Make sure you check out everything first. Make sure that you examine the information with clarity and context before you begin to share it. Now, honestly, let me be right with Rick. Some of this stuff is funny. They got this one meme that I was laughing this morning looking at with the Teddy Pendergrass fur coat on, and it got at the bottom of my face and say, "Close the door." It's hilarious. And because I have a sense of humor,
Right.
I can laugh at that kind of stuff. Everybody ain't able to handle that. And you all have to really, really be cognizant of it. You got to think about before you repost, before you slander, before you go in people's comments and say vile and just vitriol stuff. Make sure you know for a fact.
All right, y'all, ladies and gentlemen, love you, man.
I love you too, man.
Love
Thank
y'all.
you so much.
Marvin
I'm
Sapp,
done.
y'all.
I'm done.
Shit. Oh my God. Stop it. Just stop it. That's what I want to just say so bad. Just stop it. Um, let's kind of dig in a little bit more. So, why is all the stuff that I share look like this? I'm confused. But anyway, it says, never would have paid it without you. Listen, I listen. They would have locked me in that joint. Listen, I gotta get out of here. Um, before we close out, I just want to share this too. This one last thing, because this is not the very, very, very beginning, but when you're dealing with Sweet Daddy Grace was probably one of the first ones. Look at his fingernails. Well, of course, yeah, you see him right there looking like a sultan. Uh, and there's this little girl. He got $1. Look at his fingernails. He painted. Y'all sitting here talking about that one.
He ain't no different
What's
than the guy. You got the other guy there, Sweet Lady Grace. I mean, the other one, what's his name? Father Divine.
Oh no, I didn't put Father Divine in there, but
He can't rap
these
fingernails, cocaine nails.
bro, do you see his fingernails? Like, I mean, do you really see his fingernails? Do you see like his fingernails? Like,
Na-
what number we on? I know we haven't done a lot, but let's just assume we're on number 3. Press 333 if you can see the sheer length of Sweet Daddy Grace's fingernails.
and see, a lot of pimps will keep their fingernails long because the only thing was good for counting money. You know, the money was able to slide through your fingers quicker if you had fingernails.
Damn, Gina. Daddy Grace was a cranberry picker who came, who would claim that God also had him come to America in his body, and he would eventually give baptisms up to 1,000 at a time. And he accepted love, quote unquote, love offerings from female followers. Among the tenets of his theology, salvation is by grace alone, Grace has given God a vacation. If you sin against God, grace can save you. But if you sin against grace, not even God can save you. Amen, church? Daddy Grace came to DC in 1927 and, according to Molly Rath in the Washington City paper, left his world a debt-burdened 25 million estate, including an 85-room mansion in LA and a farm in Cuba and a coffee plantation in Brazil, along with quotations like, "If Moses came here now, he would have to follow this man," pointing to himself. Said if Moses came back, Moses would have to follow sweet daddy Grace. So yeah, this is the steam that, oh yeah, and I wanted to point this out. One last thing. One last thing. Um, because I wanted to check the receipts just to make sure, because I think a lot of times people think I just be saying stuff. So now I feel like I gotta prove myself. Um, did I'm sorry, let me just do a talk thing. Did Creflo Dollar change his name to Moneybags McGee? According to Babylon B, Creflo Dollar legally changed, oh my goodness, legally changed his name to Moneybags McGee. Um, so I just want to let the family know that when you dealing with the uh the Marvin Sapps, the Pastor Pork Chop, the Reverend Chicken Wings of the world, these people, they have a long history. Matter of fact, let me just close with this. And Minister, of course, you can give your closing thoughts as well. Listening audience, when was the only time in the Bible that Jesus was like really turning up? The one time in the Bible where Jesus, he's not turning water to wine and miracles and raising the dead. I'm talking like he's like tweaking. When is the only time in the Bible where Jesus, he's not like this positive dude walking on water and blah blah blah? There's only like really one time in the Bible where God or Jesus is really just like, yes, ma'am, when he flipped them tables over. What made him flip them tables over?
Jesus said, "No goddamn vending, no vending."
It was it was and I don't want to be uh racist or anything, but I think they were called money changers. Were they called money changers? Oh yes, King Moses. And I'm not surprised that the person named King Moses would have the answers. It was the money changers. Um, Now I don't know what the money changers look like or who they were, but when we talk about money changers, if I had to guess, I think we're talking about juicies. I'm not the smartest man in the world, but when we talk about quote unquote
Barons.
money changer, well, I think we're talking about barons.
Yeah, and see, that's what people can start. You can start calling them barons or lombards. They were the tax collectors. Always have been the bookkeepers, even for the Roman Empire. Always
And
connected to
that
money. So,
always dealing with money. And that was the reason a lot of people didn't want them in their country. Like, hey, get these guys out of our country. They're dealing with usury. They're pissing off Jesus.
yeah, they were the first. If you guys research the Hemi bankers, they were the first bankers, and then the ones of the Juicies who were the warriors, the Knight Templars, because those were Juicies also. they became the bankers and start collecting land and tariffs and all kind of stuff. They gave you your first tariff tax. So they've always been associated with banking or money in some type of way.
So now when you see, and and let me be clear to the family, you have to understand Marvin Sapp and um, Ricky Smiley, um, what's that other guy named Kirk Franklin? They're all a part of an organization that they have to submit to. They're all initiated family. Let's be clear. They're all initiated. You don't get to certain levels without, certain things having to go down. Um, so with that said, um, this is why mostly all of your preachers only preach out of the New Testament. That's not because your preacher just prefers, and in the culture of this century we prefer the New Testament. That's because they're following orders. Hey, we're gonna when you go to seminary schools, they're told you're only going to preach out of the New Testament. We're not going to go into no daggone book of Malachi, First Judges. We're not doing none of that crap. We're going to the New Testament, and we're only going to deal with the, you know, uh, Mark, Matthew, and John. For real, for real. We ain't going to no darn uh, the Thelonious, the Legions. I don't even know what that joint is called. My preacher never went to. If they did, they read one verse and got right out of it. So that's the reason that they stay in the New Testament. That's the reason that they preach like this, ha, and they do it like that, ha, and this and that, ha, and they all got that same. It's a certain style, and they all have it because you learn it in seminary school. And if you don't learn it in seminary school, then you learn how to do your best rendition of what you would have learned in seminary school. Yes, you have to be in a certain contract. Um, and the minister, you said so. You gave it's a name that you said on the phone. We were on the phone. When the minister, he said it on the phone. He said, "Yeah, it's called this."
What are you talking about?
That thing where all the preachers follow the same guidelines.
Oh, it's called the Homogeneous Decree.
There we go.
It's also known as the Hanadican. As a matter of fact, you probably can look it up. It's called Homogeneous Decree.
Let me
Homogeneous.
see. Can I find it? Just decree.
So M something decree.
Let's see what we get.
It's like an ecclesiastical thing agreement. We don't see it on screen. You got to pull it up.
Yeah, I'm struggling.
Just say it. Just talking into it. Google, look up.
Okay, here I'm about to share screen now because it's not working at all. Where is the share button? Right here. All right, check this out. Where is it at? Oh, we'll find it.
Share button.
Oh, I'll put it over here.
He changed it to Money Matt McGee is crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, hold on. Right. Let's see. Hold on. And the Catholic canon law, and remember, the canon law was something not of the original laws, right? You got to go back to the Council of Losita and all that kind of stuff, right? Anyway, in the Catholic canon law, the Homogeneous Decree refers to a decree issued by competent ecclesiastical authority, priests, binding on all those whom the law was made in type of legislative decree. That's what all preachers are under. The Homogeneous Decree. It's also known as the Hanadican. Okay, the ones who were of the law in Islam, they say the deen, the one of the law, the original of the law, which was the 5 books of Moses. Those individuals had to find a way of preserving the laws. So during the Losita Council, when the Roman powers to be removed some of the canons out of the Bible, they manufactured certain laws as if, for example, they said Sunday would no longer be the day of worship. I mean, Saturday. They changed the Sabbath from Saturday to Sunday. Those are some of the things that they did, and this is all protected under the Hammosius decree or the Hanadican, amongst other things, how the clergy would conduct themselves, how they would act, what they can and can't say. You know, they honor the Pope or the Papas as the vicar of Christ, all that kind of stuff, man. This is the construction of Christianity at its finest, and that's what these preachers are under.
Wow, simply incredible. Well, with that said, I think we've reached our time, but I wanted to say this again. We're going to have a flyer or something come out soon, some type of promotional material. The minister, So, are we going to be in Detroit? Are we going to be in Virginia? What's going on, minister?
Let's leave it to the people, man. Let's leave it to the people, y'all. I want y'all to tell us where y'all would like to see us at. What city you want to see us in for this Juneteenth thing? Because I haven't did a live, not live. I haven't did an in-person situation in a fucking minute. So I'm looking forward to it. Live lecture. Y'all know my position. Not so Juneteenth. I'm gonna teach y'all what was really going on, and we're gonna go through the information on Juneteenth. But Detroit, y'all let us know, man. Detroit, shoot us an email, drop a comment or something. You know what I'm saying? And we'll tally the votes to see where we should be Juneteenth weekend, and we might bring one of the super friends with us. We don't know who yet, but we'll figure somebody cool to bring out there.
He said the super friends. The brother said, "Come out here. I got y'all." Ben, yeah, I was going to ask you, where are you at? Please tell me. Right,
Ben Frank, where you at? What part of the country you in?
Yeah, where were you at? I think he's saying Detroit. I was trying to.
It might be the D, man.
Yeah, like
it might be the D. But we'll give this video time to circulate, because we might have to wait on our folk from the DMV to tap in too. You know what I'm saying?
Fair enough.
Tap in. So,
well, minister, please give us your closing thoughts, and let's we'll try again tomorrow.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, like I was telling everybody before, and I keep saying it again, please look into the Third Great Awakening, the religious movement in America, and you'll see a whole lot of this stuff populate stuff we see today in the religious section. Was he wrong for locking the doors? I would say no more wronger than Jesus kicking over the tables. I think they both said the same thing. Jesus, however, did say, "Render unto Caesar what is Caesar." And I think in this case, Marvin Sapp was echoing the same sentiments of Jesus. Render over to Caesar what's Caesar, which is that almighty dollar. So until next time, man, appreciate y'all. Detroit, we'll check in with y'all, man. 757, we'll check in with y'all too, man. Hope to see y'all soon. Peace.
You are now watching Crumb TV.
You're watching Crumb TV.
This is Prema Asset in Los Angeles, Leimert Park, and you are now watching Crumb TV.
You are watching Crumb TV.
We're watching Crumb TV.
You are now watching Crumb TV. So subscribe.
I am the Grand Sheikess, Unity Temple number 80, More Science Temple of America, and you are watching Crumb TV.
Yo, this is that kid 179. You're now watching Crumb TV.
Crumb.